Greetings and howdy howdy. In the last video I posted, I talked about this plan of mine coming into fruition step by step. Well, I got another step done today. It wasn't, some things happened over the last few days that I guess I could, if I talked to you yesterday, I would have said I made a mistake. But I saw a sign on Father's Day when we took my dad out to dinner or to lunch that said, and I took a picture of it, and if my computer would actually boot up, I don't think it's crashed. The screen comes up, but then the Windows doesn't open, the Windows program. But if I had that program and I could do my thumbnails on my laptop, which I can't, I would have used this where it said, I thought I made a mistake, and then in fine print it said, but then I was wrong. So I guess I did make a mistake even though I was wrong, thinking I made a mistake. But that's going to be kind of the reason I went on and pulled the plug, or pulled the trigger, I guess is the proper word, on this Trusted House Sitters, which I'm going to talk about today. If you've, well, you couldn't have followed me on this channel very long, but if you transitioned from my other channel to this channel, you knew that originally my big leap was going to take me overseas, into Airbnbs for like a month at a time, but then with the chocolate cake thing and borders closing, oh shoot, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Of course I got a text that kind of needs to be addressed, but it'll have to wait. It is from Trusted House Sitters, or actually from the house sit that I've already been assigned to, so I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm not sure how much about the mistake I want to bring up, but let's go back to my train of thought. Originally my plan was to travel abroad, stay at Airbnbs, you know, like a month at a time, truly be a digital nomad, and not really have a home base. But that changed when borders started closing and you had to have jabs and papers and all that to get back into the country. I have all of that, but I don't want to be forced to have something to come back. You know, if something were to happen to my parents and I had to get back and see them, so then the plans changed. I spent a lot of money on a class with Traveling with Kristen. That's another YouTube channel, I think. It might be Badass Digital Nomads or something. That's her podcast, I think. But anyway, she teaches people how to become a digital nomad and travel around the world. So I took a, the first session of a class, the launch of a relocation roadmap class while I was still working. And I learned all this stuff about, you know, traveling internationally, getting Airbnbs, different sites you can use to find stuff. And then I ended up kind of putting it all on hold so I could move up here closer to my parents, and I found an apartment that a friend owned. And I guess the Cliff Note version is the apartment has had some challenges. I mean, the storm was one, that's out of everybody's control, but some of the personality conflicts between me and the other tenant, at this point, maybe they were just perceived, or she said something and I took it wrong or something like that, but I basically sent a message yesterday to the wrong person. I sent it to the upstairs roommate instead of another potential landlord that had the same name. And anyway, so the cat was out of the bag that I was looking, so I had to call the landlord and tell her I was looking because I mentioned the landlord in it. But even before that, I had posted on my Facebook that I was going to sign up for Trusted House Sitters today. But anyway, when I realized I'd sent it to the wrong person last night, I was all shook up, you know, thinking I had thrown the landlord under the bus and had irritated the housemate. We don't share accommodations, even though we are in the same building. It's a kind of like, I guess you'd call it a duplex, but it's a townhouse where my level is all one apartment and the two above me are one apartment. But the landlord actually kind of intervened this morning and called both of us at different times and basically, you know, just said, work it out between you. But there's enough space at that house that she can move up another level and not hear you, that I've been very accommodating. But that's neither here nor there exactly, and why well, it is here or there as to why I signed up for Trusted House Sitters, because I had actually pulled the trigger before I got the call from the landlord. So I spent $200 this morning signing up for this website to where I can go house sit or pet sit, really. There are a few just house sits. In fact, I should sign up for that one. I saw one last night that's really just a house sit outside of Nashville. Now that I'm a member, I can actually request it. And then I watched a video, I think it was yesterday, from Go With Less, which I've watched a lot of theirs. It's Tim and Amy. They did the FIRE program, Financial Independence, Retire Early, and retired in their late 40s, which I think was about 7 years ago. But anyway, they've been with Trusted House Sitters for a long time, and they had mentioned in the video that I saw yesterday, I don't know if it was one that came out yesterday or if it came out, I didn't look at the date, heck, it may have been a year ago. But anyway, they were saying now was a great time to sign up because as people are starting to travel again, there is more demand for house sitters than there are house sitters. So if you sign up as a sitter, you have a much more, a higher chance of getting a sit. And come to find out, I had a sit, the very first sit I applied for, I was accepted at. And one of their tips was to do local things so you can build up your reviews. You know, Trusted House Sitters is very much like Airbnb or Uber or Lyft, where a new person on it kind of relies on the reviews of the people that you serve. So with no reviews on it, I didn't expect to get a 4-week house sit about a mile from my parents' house, which was what I was looking for. So very local. It will actually save me money, probably, because I won't be driving back and forth to my parents every week now. I may be able to see them every day, so that's a good thing. Anyway, I signed up for the Premier level because that offers sit cancellation insurance of up to $150 a day for alternative accommodations. So my thinking yesterday was that, and it still is, my landlord is trying very difficult to keep me, or trying very hard to keep me as a tenant. She needs the money for utilities, taxes, and all that kind of stuff. And it's a friend of mine, so I'm trying not to be uncooperative. But the original plan, and the still plan, is that I would sign up for this. I would keep this rental for at least 2 more months, maybe 3, maybe till the end of the year, and just see how many house sits I could get. You know, to see if I could do it basically full time, with maybe a week at my parents here and there, or a week at my friend in Fredericksburg, or a week at my friend in North Carolina, or maybe my brother up in Pennsylvania, or go back to Texas and stay a week with a friend down there. You know, I don't know, but have a few backups in case of I wasn't able to get full-time house sitting. But then the flip side of that is I'm going to have to rely on remote income. That means these YouTube channels are going to have to make me some money and PDQ pretty darn quick. Or I'll just keep burning through my savings, which is kind of what the plan was to live off of savings for a couple of years while I developed these. Well, it was a channel at the start, now it's 2 channels. This one I get to talk about all the kind of stupid things I do and the plan coming together. But anyway, I've signed up. I've got I think it's 26 days with a golden lab or a yellow lab or something. Very, very close to my parents' house. So there was a Planet Fitness close by there I can go to. There's a pool on their complex I can go to. I can sit out on the deck. That's probably going to be the nicest benefit. And I'll get to see Mom and Dad basically every day. The lady's like, the dog can be alone for up to 8 hours, but don't leave him alone 8 hours every day. But I told her I usually go to the complex on Monday nights for dinner and play a game with my parents, and I'd be gone 4 hours. She said, 4 hours is no problem, you know, just don't be gone 8 hours every day. But if you want to be gone 8 hours some days, that would be fine, because everybody's working from home now. He said animals have gotten used to having people there. So being a remote worker is actually a benefit in getting these sits. And since she agreed to the long sit, which I think is August 10th maybe, through like September 4th or 5th, she has also asked me to cover the weekend before that in August and then a weekend in June. So it's getting better and better, and I haven't even really got my feet wet yet. I have also gotten some analyses, surveys, something like that, I have to do for the City Fam job. So I'm officially on, as of July 1st, I'll be starting that remote job. It won't pay the bills, but see, that's kind of part of the plan. If I get rid of a a rent payment and I just stay in people's houses, then I don't have to make as much money, and I also don't spend as much. So if I make a little bit, I'll be able to live just fine, but I don't know if I can get a house sit every week. But I'm going to work on that. I'm going to go back in and work on that. Well, actually, I'm going to make another video for the other channel. So follow me also on CP59Fit. That's the letter C, P, and then the numbers 59 and FIT. This channel at the end screen will have a little circle over here. I haven't done like the other one and set it up where it's there all the time. I probably need to get a logo put up and do that. But anyway, since last night, all the problem, well, I wouldn't say all the problems, but the majority of the problems at my apartment have been resolved. The landlord is got a plumber scheduled to take care of the whistle in the shower. We're beginning to think it's the dial where you turn on the water. Maybe the valve is sticking or something, and so it's only letting a certain amount through, which is making, because hers is doing it too on the 3rd floor. She's afraid the one on the 2nd floor will start at some point. So when the plumber comes, she'll have him do all 3. But anyway, everything's no qualms really. Everything the landlord can do, she's doing. It's just the rent, and she needs the rent. I don't want to pay the rent, so I'm looking at other options, because I guess bottom line is I really don't want to go back to work for somebody else. Because if I did, I'd make plenty of money. It wouldn't matter where I lived. So I may have to be real frugal going forward, or increase my income, or both, to live the kind of life I want to live, and that's the plan. So here's one more step done today, this week, is I got signed up for Trusted House Sitters, and now I have a referral link which you will find on my Linktree, which is posted below. I haven't put it on there yet, so hopefully I'll remember before this video goes live. I have both YouTube channels on there, so if you're on one and you need the other one, go down to the Linktree, CP59Fit link, and then you'll see my referrals for my, whatever they're called, affiliate links for Bass Pro Shop. Apparently I can get some money there, but I don't think anybody's bought anything from that link. I don't know. I don't check that one very often. I gave up Amazon canned me on theirs, which the way they're going, I'm maybe not upset that they did. They said too many friends were shopping. Well, isn't that the whole point of a referral link, is to have your friends shop? Oops, I just hit the tripod. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up because some gnats flying around my face. And y'all got the point. I joined Trusted House Sitters, and I've already got over a month of sits lined up in a good place, in a nice house, with a nice dog. I mean, you can't go wrong with a lab, can you? A golden lab? Let's see. I'll probably be making videos from that house in August, so we'll see you from there. Have a great day. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. Love you. Bye-bye.